Uppy, uppy, uppy. It's one funny morning. I'm Dana Blizzard, and it's too early in the morning. This is the dumbest show in the whole world.
From Monday
to Friday.
Sometimes on Saturdays.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
Dean stinks.
You never know what's gonna happen.
That's your Dateline voice?
I don't know.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
It's not a chicken leg. This is a chicken leg.
Look at that manhole cover on my face.
Not a bad rendition of me. Hold on.
It's such a small town. So if you're walking, people just be like, "Do you want to ride?" It's like they don't need Uber. They just have.
What?
They just pull over. They give you a honk, and they're like, "We know your brother. We'll give you a ride to school or whatever."
That's called
our small
murder
town.
in New Jersey.
What's outside your Puerto Rican?
That's Stella! Yeah!
Hi, I'm Jill Beard from Texas.
Hi, I'm Kim Brandy from Arkansas.
And I'm Junior Sebo from Illinois.
We are at the Penny Jean State Park in the Arkansas River Valley. It's a beautiful day. It's been breezy, but very nice out.
We're here for the views. All right, it's time to uppy, uppy, up, everybody. And take it away, Dina.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Good morning. Good morning. Look at the three of you. Just three random one funny honeys getting together on a rock somewhere in Arkansas. Do you ever just go, what kind of coat am I going to be in? Tracy, I'm sorry to hear that. We are here. We're all here, broken and bruised, to cheer you on. I know. Where at in Illinois? There's a lot of them, Marta. They came from everywhere to come meet on that rock. Good morning, TikTok. Good morning. How is everybody? Jim, how are ya? Good morning, sunny and soon to be hot and humid Kentucky. We're just here for the views. I love it. So good morning, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. Let's see. What day is it? Let's all agree. I think it's Thursday. And now that I've said it, I am overdoing a lot of things. I have homework due. I know Thursday got here fast. I'm going to see what happened to all the days. So hopefully everybody's hanging in. I'm getting ready to leave for my first writer's retreat. Oh, that's so exciting. I live in Illinois and would love to go to that rock. Marta, you got to get on the list because I don't know how they all figure out where they're going, who's getting invited. But I have a feeling if they just put, we're going to the rock, and everybody would be like, okay, we're going to the rock today. Let me get my stuff. Let me get my purse. Junie, and I'm so glad to see you popping up. Never know where Junian's going to pop. I'm feeling better. So I failed to mention the other day, because I think I blocked it out, that I had to go for my second shingles vaccine. I don't know who's on the shingles bus, but I got my first shot in January, and you have to take the second shot between the second and 6th month or something. I don't know. And Chris and I were both like, I think we might be getting close, which we were. I think June was the last part. And I knew I wasn't going to feel well, and I didn't want to take it so close to the trip to Nashville. Did my second shot. Oh, hot crotch. Yeah. Ugh. And the crazy thing is, so I was out. Hey, Pam. I felt okay that day, and then you just got my second shot, no problem. I know, me too, Gianna. I was feeling okay during the day, and then everything went sideways at night. I have it. Didn't get sick after the second one. Yeah. We leave Friday for Nashville. How are you supposed to get the shingles vaccine? I believe they recommended it 50. I had shingles before, so you did not have to tell me twice. Anyone that's had shingles before in their life, knows that they should sign up for the shingles vaccine. And oh my gosh, good for you. I was hospitalized with shingles on my face and in my eye in January. Yeah. Yeah. No. And would not be good for body. Yeah. Yeah. Never had a problem with eyes so get the shot even if you get a little problem. Yeah. No, I just was like real lethargic, a lot of pain in my joints, but I have Sjogren's and I think it just kind of triggered it. I have them around my boob. Yeah, that's where I got mine. Both, no, just more the second one. I don't remember feeling like I got punched in the face as much as I did on the second shot. Yeah, but so the first one, I was like, eh. Second one was harder. Chris went with me as well, and she got like headaches, migraines, but I feel much better. 50, Shakendra, girl, look at my face. Yeah, no. So if you've never had shingles, you're like, I don't need that. Yeah, I have heard that. Yeah, Krista, that's how I feel. It definitely triggered every immune response in my body. I just like, no, I'm done. This is actually old jewelry. This was when we were selling these, remember? I don't know if you guys remember these, but we sold them a couple years ago. And this I got, I don't know, last year. Anyway, so hopefully everybody's feeling well. Yep, it's in your to-do list. Oh, yeah. I never knew that. Some people will get shingles on their face. I heard somebody get it in their mouth. I heard somebody get it in their eye. Yeah. No joke. If you had shingles, you do not need the shot. No, I don't believe that's the case. I believe you should have the OneFunnyMother on my face and my hair. Yeah. No, I had it. I had it years ago, Kimberly, and it was awful. So yeah. And it's not an easy vaccine to get because, you have to my sister had it all over her body. It was horrible. Yeah. It's not an easy vaccine to get because, both scarring awful. Scarring. Yeah. Yeah. So, I went to the dentist. It was miserable. Yeah. A friend of mine got when he was a kid. Yeah. No joke. No joke. So that's what I did. All right, miss, have a good one. My mom is in danger of going blind from shingles. Wow. Yeah. Thought it was poison. Yeah, no. Trisha. I thought it was eczema because I got it on my chest. And I was like, this is weird. Missy was actually with me. And I was like, this is weird, this weird rash. And she was like, did you change your detergent? Like we did all the mom checks. We're like, did you do this? Did you do this? And we're kind of just talking about it and checking. And I was like, what is it going to be? And then I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I know exactly what it is. And I got to the doctors in time to get this medicine just power through your body. So it starts out like a rash. And if you catch it in time and it doesn't, because it's like little bumps, if you catch it in time and it doesn't burst, you're in good shape. Less pain than if it bursts. And if you don't catch it in time. And it was still painful. It's almost like mine felt like the worst sunburn ever. Like I couldn't wear a bra. Yeah, no, very painful, Julie. I was like, I just won't wear a bra, but just having a shirt on touching my body was like fire. Yeah. Thought I had a sty and a spider both on the same day. Yeah. Both on the face the same day. Yeah. Yeah, no. Until I was 50. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that. You have to have had chicken pox to get shingles. So I was saying to my kids, I was like, if you had chicken pox, then you are susceptible to shingles. And my kids were like, they were like, wait a minute, you had chicken pox? And I said, yeah, a lot of people had chicken pox. And they were like, don't people die from like, as if it was leprosy, which I still think exists in the universe. I'm like, yeah, but that's why they got vaccines for it. I said, a friend of ours got chicken pox as a child and she went deaf. And I'm sure there were cases where children died. So like they were working on the fact. So it amazed them that something in my lifetime was pre-vaccine. They're like, isn't there a vaccine for that? I'm like, yes, there is, children. But before they had the vaccine, there were those of us that just had to bust through it. If you have shingles, you can give someone chicken pox. Listen, I don't know if any of this is, I'm just reading people's comments, so do not. Maybe they think it was smallpox. Yeah, you were definitely on the wagon train when you got the pox. If you don't wear a bra, it's basically an act of aggression. Another checking of having gotten the vaccine. What does that mean? My sister had scarlet fever in the late 60s. What? Okay, that blew my mind. Right? There's just certain things in the universe. You're like, people got that? My chip was like leprosy. Crazy. And remember, grew up in the 80s. If a family member had it, your whole family was likely to get it. We'd all get together in bed and get it over with. Like, look at us now. Shingles. Yep. The younger you were when you had the chicken pox, the higher the risk. My son had scarlet fever a few years ago. What's happening? I had scarlet fever in the 60s. What's happening? How did everybody just get scarlet fever? I had scarlet fever when I was little. What? Wow. Yeah. I had mumps, measles, and chicken pox. Yeah. Now, it is funny. It's funny, like... Okay. All right. It's enough. So yesterday, Jacqueline had called, and what are the moments that you've had with your kids where they have these like grown-up moments and it makes you giggle that they're so, what's the word, dumb? So Jacqueline calls and she was like, I have to go get a new alternator in my car. And I said, okay. She goes, do you know how much money that is? I go, yes. It's a lot of money when parts in your car go. Yes, it's expensive. So then she goes over there and I'm FaceTiming with her and they're checking the diagnostics and stuff. She goes, okay, good. They said it's not the alternator. I said, great. She goes, they said it's the battery. I was like, okay, well, that's still going to cost you money. And so then they told her it was basically the same amount. She goes, that's fine. Give me a battery. I'll just install it myself. And I was like, I said, just call Miss Chris's husband. He has like a body shop. So just call Mr. Lance and he'll help you. She goes, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get a battery. I'm going to get on the YouTube and I'm just going to learn how to put in a battery. Now, I don't know where your line is drawn when it comes to, there's certain things that I'm like, do you remember the phase when you were younger and you were like, this floor has to come out. I'll just get a hammer and I'll just take it out. You know what I'm talking about? I was that girl. But there's a line. You know how like there's like, where is your line for like things that you'll do yourself? I will not put in anything electrical. That includes a battery. I won't do it because I have shocked myself. And some batteries you can't get to. I'm like, you can take 14 pieces off that car and still never have access to the battery. I don't know. Yep. But they both had, oh gosh. Yep. Oh, she went to the AutoZone. Every time he does it, Anne. Every time. Too easy to get hurt. That's what I said. Like, yeah. There are some things I'm like, I can figure this out. What is the craziest thing that you've had that you did by yourself that you didn't think that you could do, but you figured it out? Go. Let me think. I remember in our first house, it was a really old house. It was a dump. Let's just say it. It was a dump. And it had this olive green floor, ceramic. I mean, if I just waited a couple more years, it would have come back in. You know, it was like that. It was like the 60s. The countertops were orange. The floor was olive green. And I was like, I'm going to bust this whole. Yeah. I took up a tile floor and put down a wood floor. Monica, I took up the whole tile floor. I busted the whole kitchen out. I was so proud of myself. I laid the subfloor, the cement subfloor. I did the plumb line, which helps you like put everything in a line, bought the tile, and then I bailed. And I just hired somebody to do the tile. I was like, I just can't do this. Replaced the belt on my washer, saved $500. Changed the car battery, but half the time those bolts are on too tight. Changed the heating unit in my oven. I replaced a toilet faucet's fan, fixed a washer, dryer, and ice maker. Sam, I need you over. Relight a water heater. YouTube for the win. Replaced a headlight, replaced the toilet ball and cock. Okay, Jill. All right. I built scaffolding and sand and painted my raised ranch home. Divorce energy. All right, Sadie. Redid an entire bath, including a new tub twice, 2 different homes. What? Last night, I dragged a queen mattress and box spring out to the garage last night. Bob, you can do anything. I put a big cabinet together, thousands of steps. After I got divorced, I installed new tile flooring in my bathroom. So proud of me. I manhandled my washer to change the balancing springs. I believe you, Bobby, just the way you wrote it. I replaced a door myself. I know. Look at us. I built a deck and a picket fence. I cut all the pickets myself on the table saw. I also ripped out all the walls in the basement and redid them. That's Judy from Saskatoon. Put up a wallpaper border in my kitchen. Almost fell off the fridge when the freezer door opened. I had to Google how to take my faucet apart in the bathroom, how to put up toilet in a camper. I had 3 kids. I have 8 kids. Heather, that's very impressive. I don't care if you ever put a door in. I picked up the phone, called a plumber all by myself. That's me. Wallpapering can make or break a marriage. Yep. I'm always trying to do things I shouldn't. My husband decided he could put in our pool himself. No, he didn't. He rented a backhoe, almost flipped it, and ended up digging the hole by himself. That was 1973. We still have the pool. Nancy, who thinks to build their own pool? Yeah, when I get angry, I get real independent. Girl, don't I know it? Took the toilet off, reinstalled it to get a toy out of my kids flushed. After they already did it 2 weeks before and paid a plumber $500. No. Changed the starter in my car, changed my own oil, removed popcorn ceiling. Yeah. After starting my lawnmower myself, I learned I should leave a lot of things well enough alone. After I got divorced, I found a contractor, got him named Hot Dad of the Year, and now he does all my renovations. Please follow me for more tips. Oh, YouTube certified. Yeah. I raised 2 kids with special needs, basically on my own. My ex left and I took care of it all. Girl, boom. Boom. I know, I'm so impressed, Luann. Linda, I don't even know what that means. Linda wrote, my 10-year-old and I rolled a large wicker chest upstairs using a butt over teacup method. I don't even know what that means. I made breakfast for myself once, said Jim Wagner. She's always got to come in and stir the pot. Always stir in the pot. He's like, oh, you ladies did all that? Because one time I made breakfast for myself and not Sharon. Wow. I know. Check it out because it was done. And he found a juice box stuck in it. Oh my gosh. So, like you want to tell your daughter, like, you can do anything. Go buy the battery, da, 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 da. And then there's other things you're like, unless it's electric. And then you should just hire somebody. Like, where's your line? Because I want to be like, girl, you can do anything you put your mind to, unless it's really hard. And then you cry. And then it's because you want to teach your daughters, yes, you can do anything you put your mind to. But at the same time, I think it's really important to say it is okay to ask for help. I don't know who needs to hear that today, but I think that in the age of women becoming more and more independent, which I love, 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 more educated, more connected to each other, all the things, I think it's also really important that we say to ourselves, to each other, and to our young women that we're raising, sometimes it's okay to ask for help. And you can ask for that help from your parents, from your friends' parents, anybody that is willing to help. So I did make sure that I said that to her yesterday because I was like, all of us want to feel like we could do anything, and we can, unless we're crying and we need help. And that's okay too sometimes. I have to say that to myself a lot of times because I feel like, especially if you go through a separation or divorce or any circumstance that you have not necessarily wanted or chosen for yourself, and you have to build yourself back up, that I think it's important. So yeah, just know that. And speaking of powerful women who have done amazing things and starting over and putting a wonderful life for themselves and maybe it becoming more than they've ever dreamed of, we have an amazing guest today joining us. Let me tell you a little bit about her. So there she is. So our guest is the 89-year-old Dion Forest. She is the Guinness Book of World Records oldest working female comedian. She was raised in the conservative suburbs of Boston, but after a scandalous divorce for the time and 2 years of oral French lessons, Forest got on a 5-day boat ride to study abroad in Paris. She fell in love with the city and the culture, which would determine the trajectory of the rest of her career. Back in the U.S., Forest performed as an international singer, but her music career was cut short in New York City when entertainment came to a halt following the 9/11 attacks. So she took an unexpected turn into the world of comedy. With her ukulele in hand, Forest put together a hysterical and risqué one-woman show, which caught on quickly. She landed on the same stages as Jerry Seinfeld, Jim Gaffigan, and Joan Rivers. In fact, upon meeting Rivers, she referred to Forest as a filthy ukulele player, which means she'll fit right in here. Her book, I Did It My Ways, is the culmination of her sitcom-worthy life events, now available for all to read. Her act, Swinging on the Sign, can be seen in New York and Paris at some of the most famous comedy clubs. So please help me welcome Dion Forest. Let's see. Here she comes. There she is. Hi, Dion.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, great.
Dion, hold on 1 second because my computer's going to die. I just got to get this battery. I like to bring people on and then disappear, but just hold on 1 second. I'll be right back because I don't want to lose you and I don't have the best tech support. So here we go. All right. So Dion, where are you joining us from?
I'm in New York City.
Oh, in New York City. Oh, by the way, I broke my leg, Dion. So
I'm sorry.
I'm on a scooter, but I try to make it look cool.
How'd you break your leg?
I was trying to hang a flag, and like I said, I hired a handyman because I didn't want to hurt myself.
Yeah.
I hired the handyman, and he left a drill in the driveway, and I tripped on it, and it came up, and it smacked me in the leg.
Wow.
And broke my leg. So,
wow. That's an interesting story.
Oh, it's a dumb story, Dion. It's a dumb story. So it's so nice to meet you. So you hold the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yes, yes.
For the oldest working female comedian.
Right, exactly. And I was in Barnes and Noble's, I think it was January, and I saw this book. And I says, hey, I can't be in it. And sure enough, I kept looking, page 197. There's me, and it's even above Jerry Seinfeld. Can you believe it?
Look at that. Dion, you're famous.
Yeah, can you believe it?
Oh my goodness. Tell us, how did you get this honor?
I get this honor because I've been performing for the last 15 years. Because after 9/11, I was a singer. I was a French singer. And I pretended I was French for many years, and it worked. However, 9/11 happened. All us musicians were out of work. So I asked the Caroline's Comedy Club. I play golf with Caroline. How do I get into comedy? Because that was working. And so I started learning. I took a coach. And then the third week, I was on the comedy stage right before Easter, Good Friday. And there were 15 people in the audience. Mm-hmm. And so here, I'd never done comedy before. I was petrified. So I did one line, two lines, and then the third line, everybody laughed. I was hooked. That's how I got in.
So wait, so you said you were a cabaret singer.
Yes.
And you pretended to be French. Are you fluent? Yes. You're fluent in French.
I'm fluent in French. After a divorce, I went to Paris and in the 60s. And Paris was sort of wild. And I stayed there 2 years, and I had a ball. It was even more wild than it is now. And then I came back to America, and I was so shocked by all my experiences. I couldn't lose my French accent. And I'm in Boston, and my mother, speaks, American English. And she'd introduce, this is Diana, my daughter. I'd say, hello, how are you? So I started performing, playing piano and singing in cabarets. And people said, you're French. And I said, no, I'm not. So I gave up arguing. I became French. And for the next 10, 15 years, I was French. Unbelievable. Not a drop in my...
Be able to do that.
Yeah. Can you believe it? Yeah.
No, I don't. So now, do you know, we just had on a couple of weeks ago, we had Andy Huggins on.
Yeah.
Do you know Andy Huggins?
No.
Okay, so he's like he's been doing stand-up for 60 years. Really? But he's like 80. He's like close to your age. I don't think he's older than you, especially if you have the record.
But he's like female.
But I would love to get the two of you together. I bet that would be so fun.
Yeah. I don't know him. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. He was on America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
And he's very funny fellow. So how long were you married when you got divorced?
Oh boy, I was a nice Jewish girl in Boston, and I stayed married for 4 years because then it was a sin. It was a sin in the 60s to get divorced.
Yeah.
So finally, I got the divorce, and I went to Paris, and I just said, enough with Boston and its Puritanism. I'm going to see what Paris has to offer.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what made you decide to even come back? I would have just stayed. I would have been like, I'm Parisian now, so I have.
That's the good question. My parents said, when are you coming back? Oh, I got to study singing. I got to study pantomime. I kept making excuses. So finally, a cousin, my mother sent her to Paris. Her husband was in the wine business, so they were in Paris. She said, you have to go back to Boston. Your mother will be so disappointed. disappointed if you don't come back for your niece's wedding. I mean, they begged me. I didn't want to leave.
Oh, I didn't want you to leave. That's amazing.
So I came back to Boston and I thought, I'll go back to Paris. And so Mother said, why don't you meet your uncle, Larry Burke? And he founded the Berkeley College of Music in Boston, my uncle.
Wow.
And I sort of known him. And he says, oh, I got friends in New York. I can get you in the union right away. You'll do much better in New York. So I went to New York.
Wow.
My mother was smart.
Now, Dion, did you ever remarry? Did you have kids? Where does life take you from there?
I was married for 4 years. I didn't have any kids because I got a feeling the marriage wasn't so good. This was 59, 60. And so I thought I'll get married again. And so finally I got the divorce. I go to Paris. I've had relationships, but I never got married again or had kids. That's why I one regret in life.
What would you say is kind of your what you talk about in your stand-up? When my kids were younger, I talked about being married and having kids. Now that I'm older, I mostly make fun of my kids for other reasons and talking about dating and all of that. So like what would you say is kind of your thing?
Well, I started out talking about I'd been a school teacher, this and that, talking about regular life. And then I even went into golf and, talking about golf. I play a lot of golf. It was okay. But then somehow the sex started to creep in. I don't know how. And all of a sudden, if I talked about sex, people would laugh and I'm a hit. I'm really very Puritan, but on stage, I'm sexy.
Wow, I did not expect that answer.
I know it's very funny. I go to the golf club and all the people want to hear dirty jokes.
Yeah,
I'm playing golf. I'm not like that. I'm from Boston.
I love it.
No, everybody believes what you put on stage.
Yeah, I get that. Now you were known to Joan Rivers as the filthy ukulele player.
Right.
Tell me how the ukulele gets mixed into this.
Well, when I was 16 years old at camp in New Hampshire, I asked my parents for a guitar because I wanted to be popular sitting at the Girl Scout campfire, and singing the songs. My parents came up with a ukulele. This was like 1962, who knows, 50s, I remember. And I started crying. And I said, I don't want a ukulele, I want a guitar. And they said to me, a guitar is for boys, a ukulele is for girls.
Really?
Yes, this is the way it was. I guess it was the 50s. Sorry. Yeah. So, of course, I had the ukulele and I learned the 4 chords from a book. And I started singing the camp songs. I've been working on the railroad. And guess what? That's all I got to this day is my 4 chords. It's easy if you just do that. And the only reason it got in the act is that when I went to this coach and she says, well, what's funny? And nothing evidently that I wrote down was funny. So I go home, I pick out the ukulele in my closet I hadn't seen for 25 years, and I bring it. And I said, I could play the ukulele. She said, great. We'll make parodies and you'll be totally different on the comedy stage. And that's how it got in. Thank you for my parents. Thank you.
Do you have a favorite original song that you've written on the ukulele?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Whoops, excuse me. I'll do a little of it. Do you want to hear it?
Yes, as long as it's an original. If it's cover that we can't
We
do.
made up the words. I ain't 16, not a beauty queen, and my eyes are bagging, and my skin is sagging. That's the reason you don't love me. Maybe that's not love. And I can keep going on and on.
Keep going, yeah.
I ain't 20 either, and I don't care neither. And I dye my hair, not just here, but there. If that's the reason you don't love me, maybe that's not love. If you don't think I rock, well, we ain't gonna roll. If you don't wanna pitch my tent, put away your pole. If you want a younger model, I wish you well, sweet pea. 'Cause if you can't see what I can do, you ain't doing me. Ladies and so on.
Dion, you're hilarious.
I get everybody to sing with me, always at the end of a song. And so when I leave the stage, everybody's been singing. So it works. It works.
I love it. I love it. What would you say is your favorite part about being in the comedy community?
Well, it's I go into the comedy clubs, and they all look and they see this little old lady, and they said, "Whose grandmother are you?"
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little downer for the beginning.
Yeah.
Then I go on stage, usually fourth, fifth, and I slam it. And then all of a sudden, the difference from the old grandmother to, "Ooh, I wish I could be you."
Mm-hmm.
And that gives me joy, because when you're older, believe me, people dismiss you. The young people dismiss you right away.
Yeah.
And so I help change them. Thank God. The young people love it. They wish they could end up like me in their 80s. And the old people wish that they had done what I had done before. So it works no matter what age.
So you're how old now? 88?
I'm going to be 90 on July 31st. 90 years old.
And how long have you been doing stand-up?
I've been doing it probably 15 years.
So you started doing stand-up at 75.
That's right. Yeah. And I never thought I could do it. Never thought. But what the heck? You do what you got to do. Nobody wants a 90-year-old French chanteuse, but a comedian, yeah.
So what do you say to? So I got divorced almost a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I feel we have a large female community that are here, and a couple sassy fellows as well.
Yeah.
And what do you say to women who have found themselves either by choice or circumstance at a point in their life, no matter what age it is, and find themselves starting over, or maybe perhaps have something that they've always wanted to do? What do you say to them about kind of seizing the moment?
Well, that's exactly what I did. When I told people 15 years ago I was going to start comedy, so they all said, number one, you're too old. Number two, you'll go on late at night. And number three, it will be too exhausting. It won't work. So in spite of hearing that every day, if I told somebody, I'm going to be at the comedy club, I was a hit. And my rule that I've learned over the years, don't listen to what anybody says or what's gone before, because you can do it. Look at me. I'm still performing at age almost 90. And that's what these women have to think about. Don't listen to anybody and do what you want. You never know. Who knew I was going to be on your program? Who knew?
I love it. I used to say all the time to my kids, what other people think of you is none of your business.
No.
You can only follow your own path. And
you hear it all the time. Everybody got a comment. They all got a comment. And I think either they're jealous or they're blah, blah, blah. I don't know. So I've learned that most of the time.
Yeah. So now you've also written a book. Tell me about your book.
Oh, yeah. Well, whoops, wait a minute.
Okay. We're going to do whatever you want to do, Dion.
This is
I love it.
this is my book. And, through my years, I've had lots of experiences. And I would write down the little vignettes and do them in the comedy or a show. And but I'm not a writer, so to speak.
Yeah,
I'm not a writer. And you have to put a book together. So I had this French writer in Paris, Stephen Clark. And he is British, but he's very famous in Paris with his books. And he started writing my French comedy because I do the French comedy in Paris. We got on France Got Talent. I got on. Yeah, because of him. I did it in French.
I was going to say, you did French Got Talent, but you did your whole set in French?
I did it 7 minutes, 9 minutes. I did it. And there was 600 people in the audience. 600. One place laughs and the next and the next. It's very big when a big audience.
Wow.
So I got into that. And so I said, I have all these vignettes from the last 10, 12 years. Will you help me write the book? Because I can't put it together.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I'm too busy. And for a year, he was too busy not to help me write. All of this, and I couldn't do it. I tried. There was a metro strike in Paris when I was there a couple of years ago. All of a sudden, he calls me up. I'm in Paris for New Year's. Okay, I'll write your book now. So what he did is he was able to put all the vignettes together.
Wow.
And make it fun and true. And that's how I got to write the book. I did it my ways.
So I just have to find a French man to write my book. Is that
Well, he's British French.
That's what I need.
British French. Oh, yeah. He just put it all together. And what was good about him, we'd be in taxis going to this show or that. He knew me in lunch, etc. When I wrote about my parents, he caught their inflection. He had listened, to me talking about them. He caught everything. He's a genius, Stephen Clark. So,
what do you think your parents would have thought about you becoming a comedian?
Well, my mother would have loved it. And my new show at Joe's Pub is going to be Dion Forest, 90 years old, show business for 90 years and scandal, okay? Singing in scandal. And my mother started giving me singing lessons, piano lessons at age 7, 8 years old. And she came back from Florida once and she said, oh, the entertainer in Florida sang Hello, Dolly. Can you do that? And so, of course, now I'm still doing Hello, Dolly.
Wow.
She encouraged me the whole way. I was a shy kid. And for some reason, she got gotten deaf when I was born. So she wanted me, I think, to be what she wanted to be. When she was deaf, she couldn't sing anymore, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So my father couldn't make head or tails of what I was doing.
Yeah.
I would do a pantomime on the stage, like it was one of stripping and taking a bath. And my father says, but you didn't say a word. What's this all about? My father put up with it and my mother pushed me.
Wow. That's
so I hope she's watching wherever she is.
She is.
Yeah, they would have loved it. They even came to New York when I was doing cocktail lounges. So they saw what was going on.
That's lovely. So now the show at Joe's Pub, is that happening now or is it coming up?
Yeah, it's coming up on July 29th.
July 29th.
So of course I forgot to hold it a minute.
Yeah.
I have it somewhere here.
Are you all looking all this stuff
Got
up?
200 of them. So here is the advertising.
And is it one night only, or is it on?
No, it's one night only because it's a brand new show of 90 years of songs and scandal. So I'm doing it right on my birthday, and we shall see where it goes from there. It's on a Monday night, July 29th.
All right, maybe we'll all take a road trip out to see you.
I don't know where you are.
I'm not far. I'm in South Jersey near Philadelphia.
Oh, I wish you would come.
Yeah, I would love to come. Maybe I'll have to get some of my girls, our One Funny Honeys. Anytime we get together, we put on our One Funny Honey shirt and we show up.
Let me know. This would be great.
Somebody said, I want to see a picture of her when she was younger. Do you have a picture of you?
I don't have it right here.
In your cabaret years?
My cabaret years. No, I don't have it right there. That's a great idea.
Got to get that.
Yeah. All right. Yes.
For
I've only had one nose job and one facelift. But otherwise, I'm the same.
Otherwise, exactly the
I'm the same. I don't change.
That's what I want to say when I'm 90. I'll be like, guys, I've only had one nose job, one facelift.
Look on YouTube. You'll etc. There's the advertising, Dion Forest, all over YouTube.
I love it. Now, the show on the 29th, is this going to be a mix of cabaret and comedy, or is it?
Yes. What it is I talk with the ukulele. I have a pianist, so I tell the stories, which are funny, and the pianist accompanies, or I just do the ukulele, and I even have my ukulele group coming up on the stage and join with me my song from my last show.
What's a ukulele group? What does that mean?
Well, I
don't have a ukulele group.
Oh, do you play ukulele?
No, that's what I mean. I have no idea what we're talking about.
You gotta have his 4 chords. Come on.
If I can learn it, I'll be in your group.
I was playing at Caroline's Comedy Club. One at the beginning, a guy says, we have a ukulele group on the East Village. I said, what? So I kept waiting for him to tell me. A year later, they tell me. I go to the group, and once a month, they do all these kids who play ukulele. So I don't play so good, but they let me in. And this
4 chords.
4 chords. This Saturday night, we're in Brooklyn on the Gowanus Canal. This is Saturday night, Gowanus Canal, in a canoe storage house. Can you believe this?
So many things you just said.
We had 100 people come last month. And so this time it's going to be about shipwrecks and water. And I'll do my swinging on the Seine.
Oh, wow. Somebody said, do you play the banjo too? They see one on your wall.
That is a ukulele banjo. So it sounds like very smart. It sounds like a banjo, but it's has only 4 strings with my 4 chords.
4 chords.
I'll teach anybody one. I can teach you in a half hour.
I love it. I love it. Well,
there it is up there.
It is. It's beautiful. I love your wall.
That person's very smart to have noticed that.
Well, listen, it has been such a pleasure chatting with you, Dion. You've lived quite a life. Where can people go find your book?
They can find it on Amazon.
On Amazon.
That's right. Yeah, Amazon, right? I did it my ways.
All right. And I'm going to put
it's, I think, $9-10. Very expensive.
Very expensive. So we're looking for support. I just put in Dion's website into our chat. And you can find Dion on TikTok if you're watching at dionforest.com.
Right.
We'll look into perhaps we'll make a little road trip and come out and support on the 29th. That would be so lovely.
Let me know.
I will.
Thank you.
I will.
Great meeting you.
It's a pleasure meeting you. Thanks for taking the time. I hope that we can connect sometime in New York very soon.
Oui. Okay.
All
I'll be
right.
on the show. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, Dion. Thanks for being here. Oh my gosh, is she not so adorable? I hope you had as much fun as I did talking with her. Make sure you check her out at dionforest.com. I will talk to the team here and see if we can't put a group together and all go up and meet in the city. Maybe we'll hit the biblioteca afterwards. Who knows? But I know what energy she has, and almost 90 years old. And I love that she's doing this show on her birthday on July 29th. So like I said, if there's something in life that you have always wanted to try, some secret thing, maybe you need a ukulele group. Maybe just after 4 chords, you find a whole new group of people that you can hang out with. Yeah, book will be here Saturday. Oh, Patty already ordered it. Your guests get better and better. I can't wait to read her book. So yeah, for sure. Check out her book. All of the people that we bring on here are artists in some capacity who have believed in themselves. The Fart Walk lady, I still keep in touch with Marilyn, and she'll be back with us visiting again. But she just came out with her Fart Walk hats and her Fart Walk shirts. And so if you love the people that you see on our show, follow them, see what they're up to, read about their stories. I think people like Dion are just so inspirational. So we're glad to be able to share her with all of you. So listen, I hope that brought a smile to your face today. Hopefully you'll get a chance to read more about Dion and follow along. I know. Yeah, exactly. Maybe you want to start on, I took a fart walk last night. Best thing to do. So that's it, everybody. Hopefully you are on your way to planning some great things for the weekend. Tomorrow's Friday, which is very exciting. Oh, Steph, you need to go back and you need to watch on Facebook or YouTube, because we just had a great guest on today you don't want to miss. So thanks for watching, everybody. As always, like Judy from Saskatoon and Good Time Andrea say, do something nice for yourself or others. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys here tomorrow morning. So have a great day and a blessed day, and we'll talk to you soon. I'll see you. Bye.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more One Funny Mother content.
Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on One Funny Morning.